All right, welcome back to the SGPN Fantasy Football Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented to you by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays, live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. If you sign up today, you bet $100, you're going to get $100 right back at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. So we've been doing these rookie profiles, and we've got to get our tight ends out there. Again, little housekeeping: subscribe, like, comment. All that's free. It really helps support the show. And leave us a review. We got some mock drafts, some rankings, and of course doing giveaways all off season. Today we're going to talk to you about Michael Mayer. And you can catch all our episodes at SGPN Fantasy Football, wherever you get your podcasts, on YouTube. Today's a Michael Mayer episode. This guy is 6'4", 265. He was the 2019 Kentucky Football Player of the Year. Immediate production as a freshman for the Irish, and he had offers from all the big schools, Alabama, Georgia, and he's the all-time leader at one of the biggest tight end universities in the nation, Notre Dame, and third all-time and touchdowns, I believe. He is the most pro-ready tight end that we've seen in a long time. And I'm not going to give away the comparison. Brad's going to do that. Brad's going to give us the pros, the cons, and talk to you about Mr. Michael Mayer.
Yeah, so the first pro is going to be just all around. This dude is an NFL tight end. He's got the size. He can block. He can catch. He can do anything and everything that you ask of an NFL tight end. Now, I'm not going to say he's, a tight end that we might talk about later on, like a Dalton Kincaid, right? He's not that type of receiving tight end, but this dude can do anything and everything that you ask him to do. A couple other more specific pros other than he's a really good NFL tight end, right? So the first one is going to be his ability to catch the ball in traffic. So there's a couple things here. One, if he's in man coverage, he's very good at catching the ball in those tight windows with somebody on him, right? He's not going to create a ton of separation, even though he does have a really nice jab step when he's lined up on the outside, and it's fun to see. But he's also very good at manipulating guys. And look, multiple occasions, Michael Mayer was double teamed. And he's able to manipulate the linebacker underneath at the same time as the opposing safety over the top. It is pretty impressive and very reminiscent of not his player comp, but very reminiscent of a Travis Kelce type of capability to manipulate anybody and everybody on the field. And you're just like, this dude's he's not fast. He's not like this crazy athletic dude, but he's always open. How is he doing that? And it's because he's got that all-around skill set. He's got the ability to catch. He's got the route running. He can manipulate guys into turning their hips when they shouldn't. It's pretty impressive to watch on the television. So let's move on to his cons. The first one, like I said, look, this dude's 265 pounds. He's not running super fast down the field. He's not one of these athletic tight ends that can tear down the field or anything like that. He's not going to burn you on a 70-yard touchdown pass down the seam. His second con is going to be the blocking is definitely capable blocking. He is not the best blocker of the class. I think Darnell Washington probably takes the cake on that one, which is another tight end we'll talk about later on. But he definitely has some room to take a step forward in this regards. Look, I have to find something. You can't just say he's great and he doesn't run, but he doesn't run faster, right? There's got to be something there. So there is some improvement that he can make in the blocking game, particularly in the run blocking, not so much in the pass blocking. And then the dynamic. Look, again, he's not that guy that's super athletic, going out there and making these one-handed grabs, juking defenders, doing all this stuff that you're like, man, that guy's an athlete. But what this dude is, he's a man. This dude is a man. When you see him he looks like an offensive lineman catching the ball and running over guys. You see in the picture here on the screen, if you're watching this on YouTube, hurdling a defender. He's tried to do that a couple times successfully as well. It doesn't necessarily look good when he does it, but it's effective because nobody thinks 265 pounds is going to be jumping over you. So let's move on to my player comp. And there's a bunch of different. I talked about Travis Kelce. I really do believe there are some Kelce type tendencies in the receiving game and his ability to kind of manipulate defenders. But I'm going to go with a little bit lower tier tight end in a position that, we saw him being taken in the top 10 in the NFL draft. And that's going to be TJ Hockenson, currently the tight end for the Minnesota Vikings. Just because of that all-around skill set. We've seen those athletic tight ends like the same season that TJ Hockenson came out, Noah Fant came out. He went significantly later. I say significantly, still in the first round, but, 10, 12 picks later, because he didn't have the all-around skill set. Teams didn't trust that he could come on the field on day one and contribute. And let me tell you, Michael Mayer could come in day one and contribute on any squad in the NFL. That's why I've got my player comp as TJ Hockenson, because he was able to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, before the show. Someone that can block day one is going to get on the field. And when you're looking at production, you're going to want to see snap counts and opportunities. And this guy is going to be a top 15, top 20 draft pick. He's going to start day one. And because of his blocking, he's going to be on the field starting week one, and he's not going to come off it. He's going to have 95, 90% snap counts every single week. And when you're seeing that kind of production, that kind of opportunity, the other stuff should follow. If you can get 8 to 10 targets or even 6 to 8 targets a game, that's going to be very, very good. And so I have Michael Mayer in the top 12 of my Dynasty rankings already. This guy is going to be a first rounder from all accounts. And we'll see. Right now, we're looking at it before the show on kind of where he could go in the draft. You could see some trade ups and things like that. But a lot of people like him to go pick 15 to the Green Bay Packers. And wow, this would be a great player for them who hasn't, they haven't had a solid tight end in a little while. Tunyon had his time to shine, but since the knee injury, he hasn't been. And Tunyon's one of those players that's more a receiver than a full-time tight end. And that's what Mayer is. And like you said, he's not going to wow you at the combine with his athleticism. He's not going to be the fastest tight end off the board, but he's a very smart player. He's a very good football player. And, he is a very well-rounded player. And so you're going to see him go off the board as the first tight end. And if you were to look at last draft class, he would have easily been the first tight end off the board. Next year, probably not. Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Bowers got that one locked down.
Yeah, Bowers is definitely a better prospect so far than Mayer, but we'll say Michael John Mayer just for fun. Will definitely one of the best players coming out this year. Again, appreciate you guys checking out the show. Always reminders, check out our SGPN Fantasy Football podcast. Check out our YouTube channel, SGPN Fantasy Football. It's free to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Always helps the show. We appreciate it. And thanks for checking in. As always, good luck.
Cheers.